Hi beautiful people, hope you guys are all doing well. As you can see from the thumbnail, Without a Crystal Ball, here's some advice and criticism for Taylor Swift. So I suppose you can add music aficionado to her list of titles. Before I get into that, remember about 2 weeks ago when the plaintiffs in her defamation lawsuit filed a motion for temporary injunction? Without a Crystal Ball crashed out, and she made so many posts going after the attorney of the plaintiffs. I will have that video listed in the description box if you missed it. Anyways, she made a hella long post explaining how she will not be silenced, blah, blah, blah. And in that post, she stated, I have dedicated 5 years to reporting on sex trafficking and exploitation within polygamous cults. This is my work. I have dedicated my work to victims of SA and exploitation. If you think I would ever be cool with women who defend abusers, then you don't know me. Well, as a person, and some may even call Without a Crystal Ball an advocate, she has even called herself an advocate at one point. And as you can see, she says that she has dedicated 5 years reporting on SA and exploitation within polygamous cults. And as you know, Christine Woolley was part of that alleged cult at one point, and she was probably is still a victim of that cult. And Without a Crystal Ball is very well aware of that because she has spent years reporting and profiting off those victims. So she made this post in August when she was reviewing or reading Christine Woolley's book. She states, Christine's legacy should be remembered as a woman that covered for pedophiles to promote an abusive cult and then profit while leaving the cult. Excuse me? Who is Without a Crystal Ball to dictate how Christine's legacy should be remembered? Isn't she supposed to be safeguarding Christine, the victim, protecting her as an advocate, as someone that claims to fight for women and children's well-being and safety? Is she afraid that if she lays off Christine and fully supports Christine, speaking positive about her, that people will no longer be invested in her content, or she will have no content, and that means her bank accounts will dwindle? Isn't she supposed to be supportive towards Christine at this point of Christine's life? Just for at least Christine being brave enough to leave this so-called cult, taking at least baby steps in the right direction. But what I take away from this post is that she is trying to promote negativity towards Christine. But again, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Now moving on to Without a Crystal Ball and Taylor Swift. Before I start, I am aware people are talking about Taylor Swift allegedly stealing songs from other musicians. This is not about that. It's about Without a Crystal Ball and solely about her flip-flopping, thinking that she knows best, her irresponsible reporting. Now, since that is out of the way, in August, when Taylor actually announced her new album, Without a Crystal Ball made this post, which has now been deleted. Taylor Swift's new album features Blake Lively diss track. Taylor Swift announced a new album today on Travis Kelce's podcast. The song list includes a couple titles that could be digs at Blake Lively, including Ruin the Friendship and Cancelled. Oh, To Be a Fly on the Wall at the Lively Reynolds home. Swifties, activate. It's time to launch your attack on Blake. Laughing emoji. Wow. Swifties, activate. It's time to launch your attack on Blake. No matter what, even if you dislike Blake, do not promote this type of bullshit. And as you can see, the other screenshot says, this is very obviously about Blake and Ryan. Ryan always says he lives for praise and outside validation. Next post. Taylor is part of the ongoing smear campaign. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have to be fuming right now. Taylor Swift just announced a new album, not in some flashy press release, but on Travis Kelce's podcast, and the timing, tone, and topics. Let's just say it's hard not to see the parallels. She goes on. And also, keep in mind, without a crystal ball, posted, Taylor Swift's new album features Blake Lively diss tracks. This post states, in the past 24 hours, high SEO entertainment sites have started pumping out, in quotations, debunk articles claiming Taylor Swift's new album does not contain songs about their feud. These pieces are written like insider scoops, but they are pure spin. Some even go as far as to claim Swift and Lively are still friends and working on their relationship. This is an absolute lie. How the fuck does Without a Crystal Ball know? How can she be so confident and state that this is an absolute lie? Now, I'm not saying that this is a lie, but the way she is saying this is an absolute lie. How does she know what goes on behind closed doors in Taylor's home or in Blake's home? Again, I'm not saying that they are, but this is how Without a Crystal Ball is. She absolutely loves to convince people that she knows people, that she got the inside scoop. Her inside scoop is delusional. Now, all these posts were from August when Taylor announced her new album. Fast forward to recently when her album was released. People were going and listening to see if any of those songs on her album relates to Blake Lively. And come to find out, none of the songs relates to Blake Lively. Now, obviously, listening to other people talk about this and jumping on the bandwagon without making a correction and saying that she was wrong and there is no diss tracks relating to Blake Lively, she posted this. Taylor Swift lyrics are stolen from a person on TikTok, but Candace Owens says it's about her. Laughing emoji. P.S. Cancelled was recorded well before Blake Lively was cancelled. Without a Crystal Ball sure has it in for Candace Owens. Not talking about what Taylor Swift allegedly stole from this TikToker. No, she's trying to mock Candace Owens for saying the song is about her. Nevertheless. Oh, so she has since found out that the song that she claimed was a diss track to Blake Lively really wasn't about Blake Lively after all. And remember that article debunking Taylor Swift's new album had nothing to do with Blake. That article was actually correct. And she said, and I quote, these pieces are written like inside scoops, but they are pure spin, end quote. Well, I will be damned. Without a Crystal Ball once again was wrong, claiming that article was done by Blake Lively's PR and they were doing too much. In honesty, Without a Crystal Ball is the one doing too much. She goes ahead and makes this post. Taylor Swift's safe and unremarkable Life of a Showgirl. Taylor Swift announced the Life of a Showgirl on Travis Kelce's podcast, promising 12 joyful bangers. What she delivered is a mid-tempo, emotionally confused album that never finds its pulse. It is polished and pretty, but it feels hollow and disconnected from the reality of where she is in life. Her music has not grown. There's no maturity in her lyrics or her outlook. The album jumps between being in love, settling feuds, and obsessing over what people think of her. For someone at her level of fame and wealth, this fixation feels strange. The formula that once made her relatable now makes her sound stuck. What worked at 25 does not work at 35. Fate of Ophelia sets the tone, and everything that follows stays in the same soft mid-tempo rhythm. Opalite has a slight Fleetwood Mac feel, and as the highlight of the album, Elizabeth Taylor should have been cinematic, but the chorus sounds nearly identical to Halsey's Without Me. Actually, romantic is not subtle. It is a direct clapback to Charlie XCX's Sympathy as a knife and proof that Taylor has learned nothing from Bad Blood, the feud she once claimed to have outgrown. It feels petty and small, not powerful. Wood is the weaker song, full of awkward metaphors and shallow writing that feels beneath her. Cancelled tries to sound defiant, but just reuses her same everyone hates me storyline that once felt rebellious but now feels tired. The album sounds fine, is enjoyable to listen to, but nothing stands out. It is technically beautiful, but emotionally vacant. Taylor's vocals are flawless, yet her perspective has stalled. For an artist who once reinvented pop, the life of a showgirl feels like an echo of what she used to be. Taylor deserves to take a break, to live, to grow, and to make us miss her again. Hashtag Taylor Swift. Hashtag Life of a Showgirl. Hashtag Music Review. I just can't. FYI, 84% of this post of Without a Crystal Ball was done by AI. Just so you know, Without a Crystal Ball has mentioned previously how she does not like Taylor Swift. And now that the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit is slowing down, she has no other content to actually post about. So I suppose all she is doing is following the crowd. Go figure. Because Without a Crystal Ball, in my opinion, is a follower and not a leader. And how does Without a Crystal Ball know where Taylor Swift truly is in her life? But let's take a look at some of her responses to comments left under a post. Nah, this album was great and the movie release explained a lot. She's one talented lady. Can't please them all. To which Without a Crystal Ball says, that's fair and I agree. She'll always have critics no matter what she does. But this isn't hate, it's constructive criticism. At this stage in her career, she deserves thoughtful feedback that pushes her to grow. She's one of the biggest artists in the world, and it's okay to expect evolution and depth from someone that talented. 100% totally agree with your statement, and thanks for the clarification. She's insanely talented, so it's fair to expect evolution. Without a Crystal Ball, absolutely. I'm not a Swift hater. I like her music. Since when, Katie Joy? Since when? I think you are taking this too personally. I said the album is safe. Safe implies that it's poppy and will be well received. It doesn't mean it's a bad album. Yes, you're totally right. There's no depth or edge to her music. Every song is bland. Katie, have you ever listened to Alison Mosshart? That's the level Taylor Swift should be striving for. Check out the song Impossible Winner by Alison's band, The Dead Weather. Sadly, this kind of backlash and negativity is expected with each album release. The same thing happened with Rep, and now everyone is begging for Rep TV. She's too pop. Okay, write an alternative album. She can't write her own songs. Okay, write the entirety of Speak Now solo. She's too wordy and works with Jack too much. Okay, she goes back to Max. She's too sad. Okay, she writes a happier boppy album. She can't win either way. I'm not trying to tear her down or say she can't win. I'm just sharing an honest perspective on the work itself. Critique and backlash aren't the same thing. A thoughtful discussion about music should be allowed, especially for someone at her level. Now, realistically, does anyone think that Taylor Swift gives a damn about what Without a Crystal Ball thinks about her music? I would say absolutely not. In my humble opinion, Without a Crystal Ball should have just sat this one out, stayed in her lane with her sister wife's content, or just went outside, touched some grass, and said hi to the cows. The only reason she even made this post is because all of the other content creators that she follows in the Lively Baldoni lawsuit is talking about Taylor Swift. And she probably had nothing else to even report on. And most importantly, she covered this because Taylor Swift is no longer best friends with Blake Lively. There was drama with Blake Lively, Taylor Swift in that lawsuit. And as she has said herself, she is a petty bitch like that. Decided to hop on this bandwagon. Now, we can say that it's hard not to see the parallels. Stay in your lane Without a Crystal Ball. And that's it for this whole Without a Crystal Ball. critiquing Taylor Swift's new album. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful, safe rest of your week. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another and don't forget to make good memories. Bye, guys.